Hello everybody and welcome. Today we're going to talk about Monster Hunter Wilds on the base PS5. What is the experience specifically on the PS5 base hardware? What is the experience after almost 50 hours? I'm on HR32. Some hours were AFK, I think I left it overnight, but overall you can see I'm pretty far ahead from just the story on high rank, and I have been enjoying my time really a lot. Now, before I continue with specific things, I wanted to say that this kind of review, may contain some spoilers. So if you don't like that, just tune off right now. And let's talk about it. Now, I selected to play on the PS5 because I saw what was going on with PC on the benchmarks, and I have a 3070, and I kind of got cold feet. I'm like, I don't want to deal with a situation that this is not gonna work out. So I'm gonna play on base PS5, and at worst, I'm gonna play the 30 FPS because I didn't really have faith that it was gonna play well on 60 FPS either. But with dynamic resolutions, this is probably something that they learned a lot optimizing for the Switch with this engine. They were able to do it with the dynamic resolution to be able to play smoothly like a lot of the time on the game. The only times that I got some frame drops, like visibly frame drops, because I don't have VRR on with the capture card. The only issues were on the first area because the weather changes so dynamically there, and it's really visible from everywhere what's going on the map. They wanted to make it like that. And when you're traversing at the start, that it has some steps that is kind of very on the air, and it has a lot of effects around. When there was thunderstorm, there was like it felt like it was going 30 FPS, but during the fights, not really, because the dynamic resolution was staying stable, and I didn't really feel anything at all. I'm gonna play a quest I played recently because I tried to record this video a couple of times, but yeah, this time I'm gonna show you a little bit of a playthrough here. Give me a moment. So there we go, and I have the recording from here. I started playing on high rank. When I reached high rank, I saw one playthrough of someone using the charge blade, and I was like, you know what? When I saw the Savage Axe, I wanted to play immediately. As you can see, this is the base PS5 performance. Let me follow you a little bit on the map here, that you can see everything is dynamic, everything is moving around, and it's kind of alive, which is something that I really like about this game. You can save specifically the monster here. You can save it, and you can put it as an investigation like you would on World, instead of having to search for all those food stamps that you had to do before on World. This time everything is moving around. You can target it if you want to get a specific bonus reward. This is really interesting. You can save it as investigation, and this is one of the best things to play with your friends, because you can get the bonus reward that your friend wants, and you can play it together, even immediately if you're on the same lobby, or if you want to get it together with them as investigation later on. If something is really good and you want all your friends to get this loot, obviously this is the smart thing to do. I mostly didn't play multiplayer because I wanted to see the challenge as far as I can with that, and then when I start farming, that is when I want to start playing with my friends. We all gather on Discord talks, but we don't really do anything else outside of that. We comment about the game and everything. It is really interesting when you see someone else's perspective specifically about the game, because everyone was playing different weapons, and I changed to Charge Blade to kind of because after so many years that I have been playing the GS Greatsword, it felt kind of monotonous this time, because it was so much easier to do the true charge slash combo. So I was like, you know what? I am going to try a new weapon. This looked really cool, and obviously I'm bad at it. You can see on the gameplay. But yeah, like I started playing it. A couple of fights. It's pretty interesting, pretty fun. I like the aspect that you can do those counters. I'm not gonna talk about weapon changes and stuff because I don't know yet. This is so early on. I can't really comment about anything. Uh, but outside of that, what I can say is that the game, first of all, feels smooth. As I said before, it feels pretty great on the PS5 base. On performance mode, uh, you definitely will notice some textures that look a little bit dated, but this is Monster Hunter. Personally, I don't really care about this at all because I was playing those games on the 3DS, on the PSP, which everything looked like very old. And I think people make it a bigger deal out of what it is, mostly probably because on PC you should have better performance, and most of the sentiment goes from there. On the PS5, it works better than I expected. I'm not gonna lie, because if you remember, Monster Hunter World was a 30 FPS experience on the PS4, and this time it was working out from the start 60 FPS day one. I'm like, okay, this is very good. This is definitely going to sell a lot of PS5s for people that want to play this game. And I'm pretty sure most of the player base is on PS5 for this kind of game. And you can see like almost 1 million already on PC. And I'm pretty sure it's more people on the PS5. It's going to be interesting when they announce after a week probably how many copies they have bought, so we can kind of get an idea, an estimation. Overall, it's fantastic the way that you can play online. Everything is connected, everything is around you, playing with your friends. You have the clubs things, you can have multiple. All of that aspect feels very good. And the monsters also feel interesting. I feel like this time definitely they made, probably they have lower HP, or because of the wounds, the wound mechanic, it's way easier to do a lot of damage. And sometimes, no matter what the weapon I had, it was very easy, like here, to get to this stage that you get the monster down, and it's like now it's my turn, and I'm starting doing all this. Usually, in previous games, you will have to have an item like a trap to do this kind of combo, and you will kind of have to work for it. But this time in this game didn't feel like that. I don't think it's a bad thing, especially for newcomers, because I'm pretty sure this is the focus of this game, getting more people to play this game and enjoy this game. And it's obvious, like because of the changes they have made overall with the monsters. I like that because now you don't have to worry about people getting out. Like there was some data, I think, that Capcom themselves said that a lot of people gave up on World on Anjanath. And I'm like, this is so early. How is that even possible? But yeah, that is probably, from what I heard, that was something that happened. So they probably didn't want this to happen again. That is why everything takes less time now. Now, this is very important because before, normally on Monster Hunter games, especially if you're new and you don't know where to hit, it could take you like 20 to 30 minutes to beat a monster. And you're like going around having all this huge fight, and eventually you kill the monster, or you run out of time because maybe you don't die, but you could run out of time. This time, I felt that all of my quests, especially on low rank, were like 6 to 8 minutes. So it felt that they tried to adjust the time that it takes to hunt the monster. I think that is fine because especially when you go later on, the monster's still aggressive, the monsters can still kill you, but they have less chance to. So you're probably gonna be more successful on your hands, even if you're a new player. You probably have already seen it for yourself on this kind of thing if you played the game. Now, for me, I'm not the best player. I'm not an amazing player. I'm just an average player, finishing the game, doing all the content, nothing crazy. Uh, and that's pretty much for me. It felt kind of easy. That's why I wanted to change the weapon and give myself a challenge, also learn something new. I love learning new stuff, so that was something cool for me. Uh, for that, I have to say though that it is pretty interesting with the way that they approach this on the story. Because on the story, while the combat I liked it, how they did it, I hated the story. Because personally, it made you think that this is not Monster Hunter. This was some action game that you just have to buy consumables right before the fight. The story was taking you together with all that. It felt like you were never home. You're always going somewhere, like you were playing God of War or something. You're almost never going back unless you have to for the story. And for me, it was not what I really, really wanted. It felt flat, and a lot of the characters, honestly, I didn't really care. I just wanted to play the game. Sometimes the cutscenes were unskippable as well, so that made things even more worse. And for me, that was not what I really was looking for on a game like this. But I think for someone that is coming, that is new, that was the focus for this campaign. I can't say that this is what I wanted, but it was what it was. And maybe this is gonna be just a new thing that they're gonna start doing because they want to do the whole game to be interactable. They don't want you to be going back to hubs. The whole world is a hub, and you can go with your friends on a lobby and all hunt together and all of that. That is what I think they're trying to do, and it will work. But as a campaign itself, it just as a Monster Hunter fan, it felt weird. I'm not gonna say that it was a bad thing, but for me, it didn't feel familiar, so it was weird. But for new players, definitely is gonna be different. Maybe that was the issue also, that they didn't play the game in the first place because it felt like it was taking too long to start playing some of the more different quests. So anyway, besides that and the chore quest, besides all of that, when you reach high rank, you start doing the usual stuff, and you start trying to look a little bit more to craft armor, because at the start of the game, you don't really feel the need to. You don't really feel the need to, especially with the starting gear having Divine Blessing, you don't really feel that I actually need to change armor right now. On previous games you need it. This time they try to do it easier again for more players, for newer players. But when you reach high rank, you get the normal experience. I don't think there is anything that you have to do like unique on this game. Overall, I just got introduced into the system that you can craft gear. I haven't really interacted with it yet because I haven't had enough items. But after I killed this spider, I got what I needed to make something. And it was pretty interesting. For me, I hope that this will be the reasons that will keep playing the game. Replayability, to have this kind of maybe Diablo kind of chase of items. You want the item, but the enhanced item to have the best damage, right? That is something that players like ARPG and Monster Hunter, they're doing the same thing. You're looking for loot and loot and loot, personalized loot, the best thing, doing theory crafting and all of that. That is what happens here as well. This is a big aspect of Monster Hunter. On how to optimize everything on the way that you want for your playstyle, for your own playstyle. So yeah, for me, that was great. I think that is one of the best aspects of this game, that you still get all of this to be able to customize things. And I just hope that everything works out, so we can start immediately just playing and forget about everything else. That there is so much noise now, especially because of the graphics of the game and all of that. They're not looking the best. I think that if you look besides that, if you actually look at the game and you forget about performance issues, I think this is the best Monster Hunter game they have made in terms of longevity and multiplayer to keep going. I haven't finished, obviously, the high rank, so I don't know how many more monsters there are, but I think so far that the monsters have been interesting. I hope for some, some of the big monsters to show up later on. I would hope so. I haven't looked at any spoilers. I haven't looked at anything gear or anything like that. I just wanted to have the pure experience. And when I start the PC playthrough later on, I'm gonna look everything optimized from the start. But this time, I'm just gonna have fun at the start because this is the best time. You're exploring, you're doing all this stuff, you want stable experience. I will definitely recommend it for the PS5 Performance Mode. So yeah, there is that. Everything you saw was from Performance Mode. I have some other videos early in the game on Performance Mode as well, and one on the PS5 Pro. So you can see as you like and play the game. So yeah, this was a recommend for me, definitely. This game is fantastic. Already I know it's my game of the year. Nothing will change that. No matter what comes this year, nothing can top this game. And yeah, please leave your impressions, not only about this video, but your own impressions about the game. What do you feel, performance-wise or not, on the comments below. Thank you for interacting. I make these videos because I want to have a dialogue with other people, so I read all the comments. If you can, please leave a like and a comment, or even consider subscribing. See you next time. Bye.